What's up guys, my name is Liv. Today I thought I wanted to share my thoughts on the approach to manga publication that I see in the indie manga community. I want to preface this by saying I'm not a professional by any means. I haven't been published to anything, so this video is more me rambling on my thoughts, opinions and experiences regarding this topic because I don't think it's brought up enough. Also, I didn't really write a proper script for this video, so I apologize in advance if it's not the most coherent, but I hope this will at least be useful or entertaining for you, so let's just get started. I think it all starts with a glorification of manga publication in Japan, and of Japan in general, which is a whole nother story in itself, but Japan is known for its tough work culture, and this is definitely prevalent in the case of manga publication too. But at the same time, we have series like Bakuman almost romanticizing manga publication and production, which I believe doesn't really make people realize that manga is a competitive market. It's a market and an industry before it's about the art. It's about making money. This is why you will have series like One Piece literally going on for forever, cause no manga realistically needs more than 1000 chapters. At that point, it's just because it's selling well, so the magazine wants to keep publishing it, because it makes them good money. This is also why you'll have series getting axed after the first few chapters, because they don't do well in reader surveys. If something isn't making the magazine money, why would they keep spending money on publishing it? This is like the side of the industry I suppose not a lot of people really keep in mind, because when they limit themselves to mainstream or popular manga, they get this illusion that publication equals instant success, when it's simply not the case. They only see the product, not the process it took for that mangaka to get there. And a lot of this is clear in the indie manga community. A lot of indie mangakas are young, and maybe only read successful manga like Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, the list goes on. So of course they will think they can do the same. They will think if they just get enough views on Manga Plus creators, they will make a name for themselves and publishers will be reaching out to them. But that's simply not the case. They don't see the long and tedious process that their idols went through, making one-shots, being turned down by editors, losing manga contests, maybe even getting their publication axed and whatnot. All these letdowns that they had to go through to get where they are. They don't realize that manga is a market and entertainment industry, just like any other market and entertainment industry. Because most indie mangakas don't see this side of manga publication, they fail to set realistic expectations for themselves, starting out with a many-chapter serialization idea resulting in burnout, or thinking they can get to the top with minimal or no effort, leading to sadly a lot of overconfident and egocentric people in the community. It's simply not as simple as most people think. Unfortunately, I also see it often becoming a race to be published as young as possible, and these young aspiring mangakas are comparing themselves with Japanese adults who grew up surrounded by manga and started drawing manga when they were very young. This is simply an unfair comparison, and as an artist myself, I'm always telling people to not compare yourself to others. Obviously. You grow up and live under different circumstances, which is why you simply can't compare yourself to a Japanese mangaka who got published at 18, who has been reading and drawing manga since he was 4 years old, when you maybe only started reading manga when you were 12 and decided 2 years ago that you wanted to try drawing it too. And I'm bringing all of this up mostly because I worry for the young aspiring mangakas who will end up realizing at some point that their weekly Shonen Jump serialization dream is not exactly what they had imagined. I mean, it certainly doesn't seem like anyone is informing them of how manga is a highly unstable career choice, that the workload is big for a considerably small pay, and that this lifestyle that can lead to burnout and stress is not something to romanticize or strive after. Young, inspired people are easily manipulated, and all these big-face indie manga community YouTubers are more and more starting to seem like internet gurus, giving you insincere and unprofessional advice to make the impossible seem possible and feeding into a delusional mindset. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, I just want people to consider what they're getting themselves into. Please don't drop your education, social life, or work for something like manga. Many pros also studied or worked on the side before being able to earn a living with manga. It should be a second priority, so don't neglect your life over a highly unstable and unreliable career path. It's not some dream job where you get to work with art. It's an entertainment industry and a market before it's anything else, like I mentioned in the beginning. People work themselves to death trying to make a living with manga, and there's just so many things that you have to consider that aren't really brought up by big faces in the indie manga community. Your work will be trashed by editors. You'll have to redo stories and pages. You're probably definitely not going to be drawing what you enjoy because you'll have to draw to satisfy the readers. And that's if you even get to that point in the industry, which is literally the minority, like 1%, who the majority of will not be published in major magazines like Weekly or Monthly Shonen Jump. After that, it becomes an even smaller percentage of those who become successful or are able to make a stable living with manga, even rarer with an international hit. If there's one thing to take away from Bakuman, it's that you're not going to be Mashiro or Takagi. If somehow, by a miracle, your manga is published and even gets slightly popular, you're more likely to end up like Mashiro's uncle.